What's up, everybody? Welcome to another show of Latin Explaining. My name is Teris Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for those who do, you guys know how I always do it here. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done so. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me grow my platform. I want to welcome everybody that started the chat. I see that Sundown, JS, Melanated Night, Morena, Jose are already here. Welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm a little late, I know, but today has been a crazy Monday, but a great Monday. I'm not going to complain. I hope you guys are also having an amazing start of the week. Before I start today, I know there's a lot of things that don't get to be in the mainstream, but today, for all of us that have indigenous ancestry, is the International Indigenous Communities Day. So I want to congratulate everybody on, celebrating our indigenous heritage and whatnot. So I decided today was the perfect day to actually do the stream, simply because, hey, let's just celebrate and remember, and also congratulate our indigenous communities that are still here with us after all the shit that's been thrown at them. So without any further ado, you guys know how we do it here. Let's get this show started.
To the next level.
So, guys, today's news, oh Lord, definitely. Thank you, Melanated Night. Yeah, happy Indigenous Communities Day. But today, to start the news, they're going to be a little brief because we have a lot of things to unpack, of course. Um, Something that has been happening right now. I don't know how many people from Puerto Rico, because I know some of them actually watch my show, but this came out today. Definitely, there is a tropical storm heading towards Puerto Rico and the Caribbean right now. There's, as you guys can see, there's already a lot of rain and, bands of rain going over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. It's expected to basically affect the southwest area of Puerto Rico and eventually the east and through the also southwest area of the Hispaniola. So definitely we will see. I hope everybody's ready. If you have family members, make sure that they're well stocked before Wednesday. Is expected to hit um, Wednesday in early morning. So you have tonight and tomorrow to make sure your family members have their generators and they have the stuff they need in case something major happens. We know how fragile the power grid in the Caribbean can really be. We know that it's a lot of floods are going to happen. There's a lot of rain that's expected, more than winds with this system. So, like I said, I know I have a lot of people from the Dominican Republic here. I have people from Puerto Rico. I have people from all around here in the diaspora. So, make sure that, you stay in contact with your family members. You ask them how they are doing. And if they need something, it's time to send it before the fact, just in case, they will need it eventually. So definitely, like Jose said, for all of you guys that follow the faith of Christianity, it's time to pray for Puerto Rico and nearby areas like the Dominican Republic and Haiti, especially with all the things that have been happening. Let's not forget that we are in hurricane season starting June 1st to November 30th. So, of course, we know September is one of the most active months in the hurricane season, but so far this year has been not so how can I say it, not so active as we expected. So I hope that nothing major happens here. So definitely I agree with Morena. I hope it doesn't hit the islands too bad. So yes, JS, Puerto Rico doesn't need another Maria or Irma for that matter. Thank you, Melanated Night. But definitely, yeah, pray for Puerto Rico, pray for the Dominican Republic. They're getting their first major system, of this hurricane season of 2021. Now, guys, like I said, today's news are going to be a little bit shorter. We have a lot to unpack. So let's continue to the next segment. Something exciting it's happening. Something super exciting it's actually happening right now. in the music spectrum. For all of you guys that are, hardcore Latino music, Caribbean Latino music, and reggaeton fans, something amazing is happening. And it was announced yesterday night. So, of course, I cannot brought it to the mainstream or here on my platform, but definitely there are three reggaeton singers that we love and cherish from the early 2000s when they started their boom into mainstream media and to our homes. And they are coming once again. They join forces to create what it's supposed to be, another great hit. And who am I talking about? Well, the king of reggaeton and Wisin y Yandel actually last night confirmed that they are going to be collaborating on another song together. If you guys know that MySpace was released, I believe, in 2005, it was a huge hit. It had a lot of lawsuits behind, obviously, because of the use of the term MySpace and other things that were included in there, some sampling and whatnot. But it's still, people still downloaded the song and listened to it till this day. They also had a song in Los Vaqueros. If you guys are not up with reggaeton news, I'm telling you what's up. I'm waiting for this. A lot of speculation has happened with the return of the king of reggaeton, Don Omar. He has been announcing a lot of his return from years now. I think it's been 2 years or 3 years, something like that. He has been announcing that he's gonna come back, but eventually, now he's coming with no other than Wisin y Yandel. And for all of you guys that don't know why I'm bringing this to the news, is because, trust me, this is big. And on top of that, I am a huge fan of Wisin y Yandel. And as if that wasn't enough, the only reggaeton singer that can say that I took my ass out of home to go watch him sing is Don Omar. So definitely, those are my top three. I love all of them, of course. I'm a huge music fan. You guys know it. Music is my passion. So, of course, I'm super excited to see this. But to be honest with you, yeah, Morena Don Omar is a chuleria. Okay, so definitely a lot of things have been transpiring. You guys know I talk about the crazy drama happening with Anuel AA mentioning Don Omar. Let's see if Don Omar actually is going to talk about this in this song. I do not know if that's going to happen, but in case it happens, I'm all here for it. Okay, I see that JS asked. It. I know all three of them. Is it another Mayor que yo? Who knows? I know this time they're not going to have DY in there. But of course, it's going to be amazing because these three are like huge and they bring old school reggaeton all the time. Melanated Knight says, my top three are My Towers, J Balvin, and Nicky Jam. I like them three, but to be honest with you, that's... Come on now. That's the king of reggaeton, okay? Then he says, Bad Bunny, Anuel AA, and Daddy Yankee are my other three. Yeah, I can agree with that. New generation, I'm definitely Mike Towers, J Balvin, Bad Bunny, and Anuel AA are like the best of this new generation of reggaeton. So if you're not aware of that, like I said, these three individuals have done amazing music together, and I'm super excited to see them on another collaboration together. This is not something new, but it only happens when it's something great. So if you are all here for the Don Omar and Wisin y Yandel song, put a number one in the chat because we're all here waiting for it, and I'm super excited that this is actually some freaking news. It's happening, people. The wait is over. Now let's keep this show going and let's go into what's in for us for the sports this week. Now, I said I was not going to stay in touch with the Olympics. I was not going to look for nothing. But you guys know, I have to celebrate so many things that have been, transpiring for us Latinos. And one thing I want to say, there is a lot of drama going on with the whole uh, Jasmine Quinn and the state steps that are policing her Puerto Ricanness somehow. And Puerto Ricans are not having it. Okay. So, as if that wasn't enough, myself included, I'm not having it. Okay. If you think Jasmine Quinn Camacho is not Puerto Rican, go kick rocks. I don't care. Um, there's another girl that actually acknowledged Puerto Rico and our contributions into her career, aside from the beach volleyball, acknowledging that she learned her skills from us Puerto Ricans as usual. There's the water polo gold medalist, Maggie um, Stevens. Actually won gold for the United States as the captain of water polo. And she basically thanked Puerto Rico, and she says, I hope Puerto Rico knows and feels that this gold medal is also yours. Puerto Rico is my home. Being Puerto Rican, it's a lot of what I am. So she said that she felt the energy, the resilience, and the strength of our people, and she cannot wait to actually, put the medal up for us to basically see it and whatnot, because, and even have it on her neck, because a lot of her skills were obtained while learning in Culebra, Puerto Rico, and also, rehearsing and practicing for the Olympics in Culebra, Puerto Rico during the C-19 lockdowns. So definitely, guys, like I said, this whole Puerto Rican desk police are going to have a very hard time now, because every girl that we're seeing now, every athlete that is doing crazy things in the Olympics right now is acknowledging how, and it's something, I'm going to expand on this. This is something that is not new. Puerto Rico is notorious for teaching great people how to play sports. It's simply that many of the times we don't have the funds to actually fund our athletes to actually go and deliver what we do. But let's not forget that even Phil Jackson came to Puerto Rico to learn basketball and expand his skills, and then bring them to the NBA that we know today. The same thing with other people, even the backstabbing Gigi Fernandez learned her skills in Puerto Rico, So, like I said, I'm a huge sports enthusiast. Also, guys, I want to give a huge and immense shout out to another Puerto Rican woman. Let me tell you something. Puerto Rican women are coming up in sports, okay? This last Saturday, you guys know Saturdays is a sports night for me and my boo. We watch religiously combat sports, especially UFC. And Ticia Torres actually delivered a beautiful victory this Saturday. Another Puerto Rican girl fighting out of, I believe, Colorado, but she was born and raised in Massachusetts, from Puerto Rican origins. And it was amazing, guys. I cannot even, you know, be prouder of her. I'm super proud of her. If you don't know who Tisha Torres is, go follow her page, and you will, trust me, you'll get hooked on the way she does sports. And yes, she's built, and yes, she's Puerto Rican. Anyway, guys, that has been enough of sports today, because I don't want to overextend it. Because, like I said, we have a lot to unpack. So let's keep the show moving into the main topic. Now, guys, today, like I said, today is the International Day of Indigenous Communities, and like I said, today's show is dedicated to them. So, the main topic today is not necessarily going to talk about money per se, but more about administering Earth, the planet Earth, because before we can keep printing up any more money, if we don't have a place to live that's actually livable, in reality, we're gonna be doing a full Saharan. So, of course, anti-Haitiano. I'm gonna give you your first and last warning. This is not a show related to race or how people look. If you like to contribute to what we're talking about, you're more than welcome. Let's just keep the conversation outside of how people look. Okay, people are more than the way they look. People are people. Let's just get to know them for who they are. Thank you very much. Now, going back to what we were talking today, something that actually caught my attention is that I was, as this day was approaching and whatnot, I started looking into a lot of things. And you guys know that I spoke before, uh, about the pre notion of teenage years and whatnot. And I spoke about a lot of other things that, indigenous people seem to have nailed it better than we do. And what am I talking about? I don't know if you guys remember when I was talking in a previous show about how the notion of teenage years is just first world country notion and a modern notion. Childhood didn't used to be that way. And also, in our civilizations of our ancestry, they used to be more organized and it seemed to be more order and less problems that we have today. Now, one of the things that I found when I was researching was how childhood was experienced, not only in the Taino community, because I know I talk a lot about Puerto Rico, so I wanted to expand a little bit more into um, other areas of Latin America. And I came across of how Mayans actually raised their children in their civilization. So basically it says the role of the children in Asian Mayan civilization was first and foremost to help their elders. Once children turned 5 or 6, they were expected to contribute to the family and the community. They were treated as young adults and received more responsibilities as they grew older. Now, when they reach the adolescent or the teen years as we know them, being an adolescent in Mayan society, as any other culture society, their norms or responsibilities that learn are need to be followed through. In the Mayan culture, children were raised and treated as adults. Mayan children are raised to help and learn from their parents. This includes household chores, survival skills, hunting skills if needed. For the most part, there are different norms or responsibilities for genders. In the perfect example, the mother will show and teach her daughter her skill, and a father will show his son his skill. And if the father had a job, then he would show his son how to get the job required done. Mayan children were treated like small adults. A girl's job was to learn from her mother, and a boy's job was to learn from his father how to do the same occupation as his father. So basically, young girls were expected to perform household duties while young boys were to help their fathers in farming and sometimes in hunting. So, as you guys can see, this is something that, like I said before, um, the preconceived notion of teenage years doesn't necessarily translate to our previous civilizations. And if you think about it, yes, they had crime, yes, they had a lot of other issues, but there's a lot of things that they did not have that we have today simply because we have introduced these softening skills in today's society. Now, that doesn't necessarily, I don't necessarily agree with the fact that it's due to just solely the gender roles, because I also found more information regarding that. And this one, I am going to bring it home, okay? But the Taino society, for example, in the Taino society, when you look at their civilization, it was more a matrilineal, you know, socio-political organization, and to the point that we also have women caciques. Women also were involved in the building and the construction of the Taino community. And actually, I'm going to read what has been documented about Taino's gender roles. And it says documentary accounts at the time of contact indicate that although the paramount rulers among the Taino were most often men, women could also be caciques. And let's not forget that Ana Caona existed and she was a cacique. She was a cacique in what is known today the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Women seem to have participating at all levels in the political hierarchy, both wielding power and accumulating wealth. Pre-contact gender roles among the Taino are not well understood, but most researchers indicated that gender roles among the Taino were relatively non-exclusive, from political leadership and fighting as warriors to food production. There were few socioeconomic activities that were assigned to only either men or only women. For example, constructing the conucos, raised mounds for farming, was done by men, and preparing the manok was done by women. But both genders tilled, planted, and harvested the fields. So, one question that I constantly ask myself is what they were doing then that they didn't have a lot of things that we have today. They didn't have this fight, this power struggle that seems to be eating at the core of our society to the point that we have a low birth rate. We have a lot of people engaging in more than we're supposed to have. People engaging in criminal activity. We have more people succumbing to addictions to cope with certain things that they're going through and many other problems. So at the end of the day, what Tainos, in my opinion, as much as Mayans and other indigenous civilizations, because even if you analyze the Incas or the Aztecas, they still behave in the same way. Everybody knew what their purpose was. And that is something that unfortunately we have lost. And it's time to go back. Look at Truth Teacher. They didn't divest. No, Truth. They did not divest it. Go figure. So definitely, guys, that's something that intrigued me a lot because as I put the subject for today's, were our ancestors better? And in my opinion, they were. Music only says Indians don't have those divestment problems. No, they don't. They don't have that because there are absolutely predefined purpose is predefined roles that you must fit in for the order of the society and the community to keep thriving. There's and for a lot of people that are not gonna come for me and say, oh, like, but they still were invaded and colonized and whatnot. Let me tell you something. It wasn't their structure that actually lead to the doom of our ancestry. What happened is, of course, they did not counted with the fact that they did not have a strong immune system to fight the European germs. That's the only thing that actually killed our previous civilizations. It wasn't that Mayans could not defend their city because you guys know that they could not um, would have been able to invade without the help of somebody from the inside. The same thing happened in South America with the Inca Empire. They were not necessarily vulnerable. They were actually warriors as well. And a lot of archaeologists have found that even the Mayan community, like their empire, was a fortress. So we're not talking about people that just live in hoods and were climbing trees and whatnot. These people had a purpose. They had an empire and it had a structure and a hierarchy. Okay, so at the end of the day, like I said, it's something that we have to start backtracking to where our ancestors were. And it's time for us to start taking responsibility, not only in our families and our lives, but also for future generations and also for nature. I see that Music Only says, one of my Indio friends told me they outcast people who date out even the mestizos. Well, that's just something that they do because those are their rules. But I cannot confirm nor deny that because I have to actually research that for myself. Now, because if I'm not mistaken, in the Taino community, that did not matter. So, of course, now, one thing that I wanted to bring to the mainstream was to see, for all of you guys that have been, that are going to, not the ones that are in the chat right now. I'm just talking about, if before, people that are ruffled their feathers in the wrong way, come for me. I'm going to explain a little bit more, compare where we are today and the society we are today compared to how it was supposed to be. So this news just came out, and I'm going to expand a little bit on it. Uh, it says Mexico releases human poop into the ocean, contaminating and closing the ocean in Imperial Beach. That was released today. Unfortunately, I see that Michael Ruiz is here. Welcome. Make sure, to all the people coming in, please make sure you like this video. And also, if you haven't done so, subscribe. And if you don't want to miss the videos that I do, make sure when you subscribe, you press all for for you to not miss our videos and you get all the notifications. So like, subscribe, and press all. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Now, yes, self styles, I got the same, the same question in my head when this news broke out a few weeks ago. If you guys live in California like I do, uh, going a little bit more into the South Bay area of LA County, I would say, you know, there was, I think, for, if somebody correct me, if it was for like 10 days or like 20 days, something like that. There was like a lot of days where we could not go and get into the water. Not that I want to get in the water in California, okay? If I go to the beach, if you guys invite me to the beach here, do not get offended if I don't get in the water. I have stepped foot in the most beautiful clear waters in the world in Puerto Rico, and this beach is disgusting. So to add to the most disgusting thing, Mexico released this poop when we're just coming out of the poop that they released just like 2 weeks ago. There were a few days where people were advised to not get in the water because there was a lot of E. coli, and the levels of E. coli that were there. Yeah, thank you, Melanated Night. There were 10 days that we could not participate in anything involved in the water. And the smell, I don't even want to, thank God I don't live in the South Bay. The smell must have been so freaking disgusting. But I saw the videos. Now, Mexico is doing it again. And to be honest with you, I have to agree with Music Only on this one. He said Mexico is probably doing biological warfare. I believe that Mexico is just doing like a clapback at the United States government. And to be honest with you, this is the second time that they have done it in this summer, especially when Californians are trying to enjoy down in Newport Beach, their beaches and whatnot, especially in San Diego. La Jolla is one of the most cleanest beaches here in California. And to be honest with you, now they're going to be contaminated again. We're not going to be able to have access to the beach. The sea life is going to go literally to shit. And like Self Style said, they're cheating on us. In my opinion, this they claim that the situation happened because they don't have proper sewage in the Tijuana beaches, and the summer travel has increased. And because they don't have an adequate sewage system in place, they are dumping this. But they said that eventually they're going to get the situation solved. So literally, yeah, Mexico is striking back like the Star Wars movies. Kamala went and insulted them, and they're striking back. Morena says, Denise, my mom says, if I experience the beach in the Antilles, I will never get in the U.S. murky waters. But that's, oh, girl, that's a conversation that, look, I don't mean no disrespect for the California born and raised, okay? But you guys' beaches are disgusting. In America, I've yet to see a beach that I want to get in outside of Miami, because you guys share the same beach, but at the same time, nothing is better than going to the Caribbean and to the beach. I don't care if you go to Barbados, St. Barts, St. Croix, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, or Cuba. There is no beach in the universe that would be better than those beaches, okay? There's no discussion about it. Just go experience it for yourself. But definitely, Morena, your mom was absolutely right. Now, Morena says, Denise, if you go to New York City, you will say worse than California. Well, honey, I swear, I'm gonna drive myself to the beach so that you can see that disgusting beach that people pay a lot of money to live in front of here. Um, Carlos says, Melanie Knight, come get your woman, Cali for life with the best. Robert says, Miami is the only good beach here in the States. Definitely and absolutely. Yeah, so definitely. Jose says, I miss the beaches of Luquillo, Puerto Rico. Of course. Uh, to be honest with you, look, Truth Teacher says, I don't go to the beaches here. I only make sandcastles. No, I only go to the beach to actually just look at the horizon and the immensity of the sea, and breathe in, a little bit of the sea smell, because I'm an island person. I cannot leave too long without seeing water. It's depressing to me. So definitely, I agree with Robert. I agree with a lot of people, and even through teacher. I only go to the beach, like I said, to just experience the immensity of the sea. The most I stay close to the water is the sand, and not the hardened sand. Is the sand that's loose that the water hasn't touched. Okay, it's gross. So definitely, guys, when you might ask yourselves, why am I bringing this up? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's another news that arose today precisely about administering nature. You guys know that we have had a lot of issues lately. I think for 10 years now, one of the main topics that have been in the mainstream is eco fucking friendly and global warming and whatnot. And as much as I am fed up with it, you guys know that I don't buy none of this stuff. There is something going on in Guatemala that is worth looking at. Okay. It says how 30 years of logging saved the rainforest in Guatemala. And basically, this literally came out today. It says, in the heart of Central America's most populated country, Guatemala, lies one of the most important spaces in the world for biodiversity, the Maya Biosphere Reserve. At over 21,000 square kilometers, the reserve covers around a fifth of Guatemala's total land and is the largest protected area in Central America. As the biggest tropical forest north of the Amazon, the park has a vital biological and cultural heritage, providing a home to countless endangered species and ancient Mayan archaeological sites dating back thousands of years. The forest also serves as a critical carbon sink, a space which absorbs more carbon than it produces. Is an ecosystem essentially to fighting the climate crisis. And this is the space. This is a beautiful reserve. It tempted me to actually go and see it for myself. Okay. The Mayans know what they were doing. Basically, if you guys want to go and read the whole article like I did, go to Aero News and you will read it for yourself. Basically, the Mayans that are still the Maya little community that are still taking care of the reserve, they have literally near zero deforestation rates, and that is a number that it's so rare in the world, to the point that they have been able to preserve what they were inherited from their ancestry, and that is functioning as the lung of Central America. So it's cleaning the air while it's almost not producing a lot of carbon dioxide like other places because of the diversity of resources that this reserve specifically has. So basically, this is something that indigenous people, the indigenous community in Guatemala that lives in this reserve, is actually doing. Now, when you compare, I know a lot of people are going to come for me. And like I said, if I ruffle your feathers the wrong way, leave your comment. I want to read. I'll even put a heart on it. Whoever writes the most creative trolling comment, I promise you, I will put a heart on your comment. But definitely, guys, you can come because as much as I want to give it to the Mexicans dumping the poop in the water as a slap to America, because I understand their feelings and whatnot. At the end of the day, there's a lot of sea life that you're killing with that. There's a lot of people that have nothing to do with what the government is doing, and now they don't have access to the beach. There's a lot of things that once you put them in an ecosystem are going to change them forever. And like I said, this is the second wave of shit that we have gotten in the west coast of the east coast of the Pacific Ocean. And then let's not forget that we have Japan dumping a lot of shit in the sea, and then now we have Mexicans dumping tourists poop in the middle of the sea. So definitely, like I said, it's counterproductive to actually do this stuff to the ecosystem because we all live in planet Earth. And like I said, I created this specific stream because I wanted to uh, bring awareness to the fact that a lot of people often looks down on indigenous people and the indigenous folk. But to be honest with you, these people kept this land the way it was, unpolluted. They kept it going, they kept it thriving for 1,000 and something years. And we have been on our own for 600 years, and look at all the shit that's happening. We're almost near extinction to the point that we have people jumping to Mars to see how they can do something. Because in reality, there are things that I have always said it. There are things that the mankind has discovered that should have never been freaking discovered. There's a lot of things that we have to backtrack from. And to be honest with you, we have to start looking up to our ancestry and start embracing their way of life. Sometimes, simpler things that you can implement in your life can actually impact in a huge way our society. And like I said, it's time for a lot of us that love to trash and talk shit about our ancestry, our indigenous communities. It's time for us to actually start taking notes from them, start learning from them, because they seem to be doing a lot of things right that we have not gotten or nailed in 600 years. Morena says they were spiritually connected to the land. Yeah, they knew that they were part of the ecosystem and they function with nature as one. I think that's one of the main reasons why, um, you know, they were able to still survive in through hurricanes, earthquakes, and whatnot, because they understood the land that we're living in. They incorporated to the ecosystem as just another species. They didn't have this ego that we have nowadays. Now Juan Rambo says, I think the city near the coastline that dump its sewage waste in the ocean, then the waste wash up in California. No, but the thing is, like, it's the same thing, Juan. It's the same thing with um the same thing that happened with Japan. Japan last year contaminated the Pacific Ocean, and it still washed up a little bit in California because it's you have currents underneath the sea. If you're not a sea person, if you were not born and raised as an islander or as a living in a coast and whatnot, but the sea, what you see, the waves on the top, is not the only thing that moves the water. There are undercurrents that actually even drags people that are not like great swimmers. That's how they often drown, because they don't factor in the undercurrents that actually are happening, at lower levels of the sea. So of course it's going to be dragged to California. It's not that far. Mexico is not that far from California. So of course it's going to wash up here all that poop. I see that Jose says it's bad enough that we trash Earth. Now we're going to trash other planets. Oh, don't get me started. Latin explaining in the space. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh my God. I see that Michael Ruiz says Denise wants someone to start some. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna implement something new here on this channel. Troll as much as you want, because, like I said, it's probably that's what you need. Probably you need to vent. You need somebody to listen to you, and who better to listen to you than YouTube? Go ahead and deposit all your hate in there. And now music only says it's a bad idea to attack a place like California. That state is full of Mexicans. Not only that, don't attack any state. Don't even attack Mexico, because let's not forget this chat is literally in the coast of Tijuana. Michael Reese says, I remember my uncle was pulled in the middle of the ocean by a huge current. It was scary as hell. Yeah. That's like I said, if you're not like even if you're an excellent swimmer, you can freaking die from the currents. The sea is aggressive. So of course, you want to be respectful. I respect the sea. I have a lot of respect for the sea. I go in, and sometimes I get carried away, and I get really deep, especially in Puerto Rico, because it's island life. You like to swim a lot, but then you have to remember, let me come back, because I'm starting to see my friends and my family very little from here. So you have to swim back. um I see that Jose says we do not need slow taps from outer space. No, definitely no. Michael Reese says give the trolls a bank account so they can make all the deposits and withdrawals they want. Yeah, definitely. Drop everything you want. Like I said, I do not care. Like I said, people need to probably depot. I know the C-19 pandemic has been crazy. The lockdowns, the open up, the lockdown, the mask, all this stuff has been crazy. So a lot of people are not being able to actually go and insult the cashiers at retail centers. So of course they come here to the internet to dump their shit, just like Mexico dumped the poop. So guys, I want to keep it short today. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing long live streams. Only Thursdays will be the days where I will be talking with others and bringing people to my live streams. But definitely, I do not have like a very extensive knowledge when it comes to the different indigenous in the United States. I know there's a few people that might have a connection to it, either by mixing and whatnot. So I want to congratulate everybody, because I know every single Latino has a little bit of indigenous. Okay, so I want to congratulate all of you guys. Today is a very special day. Like I said, let's try to do something nice. Let's try to, remember something or learn a curious fact that we don't know about our people and our ancestry. And I want to leave you guys with something more in the inspirational lane. you know let's start. There are things obviously that our ancestors did not know. There are a lot of things that they might not advance as much in their lifetime. But to be honest with you, it's time for us as Latinos, as even Americans, to actually start looking back into what our people used to do, their medicine, their intelligence, their discoveries, their relationship to earth, the way they used to raise their children, the way their communities used to look. It's time for us to unlearn all of this crap and shit that we have been taught for 600 years and start going back to our roots. It's time for us to go back home. And this is the best way to do it. Michael Ruiz says, I think that's all of us, because after all, the indigenous people were the first people on our islands. Definitely. They were the first, and like I said, um, they were the actual kings and queens for 1,000 and some years. So of course they're not dumb people. And like I said, it's time to go back. Okay, the more we evolve to the point, all the way from the monkey all the way to Justin Bieber, and we realize that something ain't right. It's time to go back a few steps and stay there. Okay. I put in the link in the chat for whoever wants to jump in. We're still gonna have the backstage, so you're not gonna be put on. So if you wanna stay for the after party that we do here on Latin Splaining after the show is over, you can jump in. I'm not gonna put you on. After the stream ends, then we can, crack jokes and whatnot. So you're more than welcome to jump in. So definitely, guys, that's something that I wanted to do something special, because I know all the times I'm here telling you guys how to save money or things that we should do or mistakes we should avoid and whatnot. But today I wanted to do something special for us. Before I leave today, I want to remind you guys to go and subscribe to Melanated Nights Echo Chamber. Okay, this is a channel that literally is going to be insane. Okay, this channel is going to be about everything and anything. Okay, and then there is something that Melanated Night has not authorized me to say it yet. I'm gonna put the link to the channel in the chat. So if you want to go subscribe, you can go. But there's something exciting that he's cooking up, and I know a lot of you guys want to know. I want to know as well. But from what I am seeing, and I have inside information, you don't want to miss it. So make sure you subscribe and you tune in. And like I said, when you subscribe, make sure that you hit in the little bell to the side, you press all, so that every time me or anybody else that is in this community goes live, you don't miss the lives that we do. Um, Sundown says, I know about the Lumbee, but I can tell you about the shady things that were done to them. Sundown, today would have been an amazing day for you to jump in, because this is something that you're more knowledgeable on, especially with the Native American, because I'm not, to be honest with you, that's not my area of expertise. um Truth Teacher says we can't even make to from Cuba to Florida. They used to sail between island pattern canoes. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like I said, how did these people achieve so many great things? Let's be honest. They invented the concept of zero, studied the sun. Like a lot of the things, 36% of what we know about the sun in our solar system today comes from Mayans. They invented a lot of the foods we still eat today. They have a lot of things. Even Batman was a Mayan god. Come on now. There's a lot of things that a lot of people like and love to shit on indigenous communities, but there's so many things that they just don't want you to learn. And like I said, today is a day to feel proud. Today I call myself a proud Taina. I know I have a lot of proud indigenous people here, and I know that we're mixed with everything and anything. But let's remember our people today. Light a candle, play some music, dance like you would think your indigenous people did in the past. I don't care, but it's a day of celebration, okay? And also, yeah, like Morena said, the Mayan calendar. Let me tell you something. Mayans play a joke on us, okay? Because in 2012, I was a little bit scared about the end of the world. But in reality, it meant a change. And Lord, it has changed so much. So definitely they did play a joke on us. I see that Carlos says, I'm a proud Olmec. Congratulations. Rizal Ram says, fellow proud Taino here. Congratulations as well. Morena, you were also scared? How many of y'all were scared that Mayans told us uh, that Mayans told us that the world was going to end? If you were scared in 2012 that the world was going to end, you know, put a number one in the chat. If you were literally scared, because I was scared as hell. Let me tell you that much. I was super scared. I could not. Oh my god. But to be honest with you, today, like I said, back to what I was initially saying. Today is a day of actually commemorating our people. We learn a little bit about them, not as much as we should. And to be honest with you, it's time for us to start picking a book, learning a little bit more of them, because to be honest with you, it's something that it's worth knowing. We are the last of that. Now I see that Morena, look at how scared Morena was. Morena, you and me were literally at the same level of scared. Okay, you were not alone in this. Goddess in Training says, surprisingly, I wasn't. Girl, I commend you for that. Jose said he was not scared. You guys are saying, I'm starting to doubt that. I think you guys are saying that to save face, okay? Because everybody was scared shitless, okay? Michael Ruiz says, Taino descendant says, oh, okay. Okay. Jose keeps saying that he wasn't scared. Hmm. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Now, guys, before I leave today, I want to remind you of a few things. First, like I said, like this video and subscribe. Also, guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Denise.Gonzalez the Villegas one, so that you can keep up with news and things that happen in Latin America and also with a Latin diaspora, because sometimes I really do not have the time to make a video on all of them. And there's a lot of things that need coverage. And at the same time, I want to know your opinion on them. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. And I know I mentioned it before. Like and subscribe. And also, if you want to help this platform grow in other ways, you can also support the channel by donating to $Denise 100 by 35. So, guys, before I go, Melanated Night sent a little bit of like a teaser. I don't know if you guys are excited to see it, but I am excited to see it. Let's see it.
Baby, let me tell you something. I've been checking you out. Baby, you caught my eye. I wanna see where this goes.
Well, you guys saw it. It's a little bit. It's a little bit of the teasers. Oh, look at Michael Reese. Don't leave. Let the trolls play a little. You know what? Like I said, I opened the commentary for them, and to be honest with you, I don't think they're going to talk too much shit about this trend today. Probably they will get offended because some people still hate on our natives and looks down on our indigenous roots. But to be honest with you, like I said, Morena said that sounds like music soul child. You know what? That's actually Melanated Knight's cousin. His family is very deep into music, and I believe he's only 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And he wrote the song and created the song himself. So definitely shout out to him, okay? Truth Teacher says, I was too busy dying in 2012 and I wasn't even scared of that. Pissed, but not scared. Yes, Michael Reese. That was Melanated's night, 12-year-old cousin. So, guys, definitely has a lot of talent. Like I said, Melanated Knight's family it's has deep roots in music as well. So of course you will kick whatever corner and a great musician will come out of it. Now, guys, that has been it's been an amazing stream today. Like I said, I'm trying to keep them short and sweet. I already put you know the link in the chat for The after show, it, like I said, I'm not gonna put you in because I know some people do not like to be in, but this is not for you to come on. If you want to join us in the after show, you're more than welcome. But that has been for me today. Like I said, today is a day of celebration. If you are proud of your indigenous roots, if you are proud of your ancestors, if you're proud of who they were and the things that you still have of them, today is the day to celebrate. And I hope you are celebrating and that you feel very proud of our indigenous ancestry. It has been a pleasure to bring this to you guys' attention. Let's make it a trend. Let's start sharing. Like I said, like and subscribe. Thank you guys very much for tuning in on this special day. Let's stay productive. I will see you guys Thursday. And also, we might have a show on No Bullshit this week or maybe the next one. I'm not sure. I will let you guys know if anything. But thank you guys. It has been a pleasure. This has been another episode of Latin Explaining with Denise, all about business and finances. Have an amazing day and happy Indigenous Communities International Day. Peace.